magical
madness. Good morning.
Good morning, Austin. Or
Or
afternoon.
early afternoon.
Yeah. Happy Magical Madness Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's the start of the week. And what a better start of the week than to start talking about Disney.
For real.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Personally, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of my favorite days of the week. Monday and Tuesday, I have kind of like the most Disney podcasts to listen to.
Yeah.
Because I don't like listening to all of them. There's like a certain few that I listen to. So, but Monday,
Including ours.
Yes, including ours. But Mondays is when I fill it up with Disney podcasts.
Heck yeah.
I love them.
Hopefully we're part of some people's out there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we're a part of your weekly routine.
Yeah.
And if not, that's okay too, because it's part of my weekly routine.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. But we do our best
it.
to stay consistent so people can expect to have one, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we love to do it. I was just talking to you yesterday, and how we met is we were working together, and as we go on in our relationship, we work other places now, but this is somewhere that we can work together again, and I love working with you.
Same. Ditto.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I felt like I made you say that.
Of course I do.
Gave
We
you the
also
look.
kind of work together. We haven't done this, haven't been as active with it, but we do own a kind of a coffee catering business that we will do coffee at weddings and parties or of any kind, really.
Yeah.
And since our jobs have gotten busier,
Yeah.
our other jobs, we don't do that as much, but that is also another way that we have worked together.
Yes, we have. But I like this because this is consistent.
Yes.
This is all the time.
Agree.
And
we're not necessarily making money, though.
No, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's a way to work together. It's a creative outlet
Agreed.
together. But I want to say that another way that we've been working together recently to do with the podcast, but slightly separate, is we have finished up the vlog, the day one vlog.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, sorry that this...
Couple small, maybe final touches. It's probably like 97%
Well, by now we
there.
probably are done.
By the time this releases.
Yeah, by the time this releases, we're going to be done. Mm-hmm. But the plan as of now, when we're recording this, and if you're listening to this on Monday, just like pay attention to our social media. If you follow us, if you don't follow us, go follow us so that you know when it's coming out.
Yeah.
But it should be coming out this week for sure.
Yep.
I think we made this announcement last week, but
yeah.
Austin made
2 weeks ago.
Austin made the announcement a little prematurely, and
my bad.
I couldn't look at him and say, I don't think it's going to be out. But then he realized a couple days later it's not coming out this week.
Yeah.
We were very busy.
But we basically finished it yesterday.
Yep, it'll be
much.
done. It'll be ready to come out. We're shooting for the middle of this week.
Yeah.
So
It'll be day one of our vacation that we just took.
yeah, day one. It won't be as long for the next videos. It was just this one. We really wanted to make sure we had the idea there and that it was fully how we wanted the rest of them to look.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Correct.
And it was my first time like making a full video. So I wanted to make sure I put enough time into it.
Yeah.
But they're coming. They're coming.
They're coming.
Week. I'm
it's
so
starting.
excited.
Yeah.
And this isn't even my favorite day. So I'm so excited for like the next days.
Yeah.
So that's something that we worked on together.
Yep.
Because I can't do it all by myself.
But you're starting to get the basics of editing down a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
I did
think you
most
could
of the
do-
editing
yeah.
part. I can't.
By the end of all these, you're not going to need my help at all.
The thing that I need help with is dragging and dropping into into like where it's supposed to go, because I
can't believe
don't
It must
know.
be something with the trackpad on your Mac, because dragging an audio file from, or just any file from a folder into the editing software is quite the chore sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hard. And
If you had a mouse, it'd be much easier.
well,
which
and
you do.
I have a mouse, yes, but I usually just I usually work on it where I'm not at a desk because I always work at a desk and I like to work other places.
Right.
So it's not like I easily have like a mouse area, but I think I'm going to have to from now on because that's why it takes so long. Yeah. And you finally experienced it and you had problems with it too. And I was like, good. I've had this computer for a long time now, but I love it and I don't want to ever get rid of it. Just like my iPhone Mini 12.
One day you will be forced to.
I will never.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think we have some Disney news like that we haven't talked about on here.
Okay.
Disney has been coming out with so much of it, so it's kind of hard to keep up with all the news. And also some of the news that they come out with isn't actual news. It's just so that they can
grab your attention.
Yeah, because they need to grab some attention right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of attention grabbers over at a different park.
Yeah.
So we need some attention grabbing.
What's the news?
So they officially announced the date that Test Track is going to open back.
Oh, nice.
I think it's July 22nd.
Okay.
So
very soon.
Very, very soon.
Almost exactly a month from today.
Yep. And then they posted some like kind of pictures of things it's supposed to change into. It's like it's supposed to give you more of like the car, from my understanding of it, and I could be wrong, don't know, but the ride is supposed to give you more of like a feeling of driving a car somewhere like through America. Like there's a part that's like through like a national forest, like so it's supposed to be very wooded and outside, so it sounds completely different from how it was before.
Yeah.
So, and it looked like there was at one point like a lot of lights, like I don't know if that's supposed to indicate like a city or what that was all about, but it looks completely different from just like that wooded area parts. Completely different from obviously you can't really see anything in the Test Track we've ever rode. Right.
It's very dark.
It's very dark and there's like a couple spots and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Wow. Well, cool. We'll be able to check that out when we go there.
So like that's a big one. I think Astro Orbiter is going to be opening up soon. They got some stuff like they're putting it back together right now.
Okay.
And Piston Peak. So the Cars area that's coming to Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Is that also with that like the Liberty Boat and Tom Sawyer Island, they're closing on July 7th.
Yeah, you were just telling me about this yesterday that they're going to fill in that lake.
Yeah.
The lake's not even going to be there.
No, it's not going to be there. It's going to be Piston Peak.
And I was asking you, like, how do you just get rid of a lake? You're going to have to pump it somewhere. That's just a lot of water to just remove and then fill in.
Yeah. With I don't think dirt. I think they said 2026.
Okay.
But my guess is be 2026 December 31st, 2026 type thing.
Quite the process.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be quick. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be quick in terms of if you're comparing it to other things that have come up. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like.
I mean, they've got this stuff down to a science now, the way they are always changing things. And
yeah. It does look like there's some, like, water aspects, like, not, like, that you could like go through or like ride a boat through, but it looks like there's in the Piston Peak area, which is what the Cars area is going to be called. It looks like there's like some waterfalls. So it's still like something to look at and, you know, something to break up the concrete area, but it's not like a giant river with a riverboat.
Yeah.
So that's going away. And then the Piston Peak looks like it's like they have like a character that's like a Cars character that's not from the Cars movie. It's like actually like they made him. So I'm excited about that. Like that'll be unique to that area, not just like Lightning McQueen. It doesn't look like it's the same as Disneyland. So that's I hope that ride, and I don't think that ride, because they already have Test Track, I don't think the ride will be the same as Test Track. Because you know that, right?
Well, is it still the same like path and stuff?
I don't think it would be.
Okay.
Because we have Test Track in Epcot, so I don't think they would bring it. It's not very clear from like the drawing. Such a drawing.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think it would be the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, I know it is for taller kids. Like, it's not going to be like something like a little kiddie ride.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. That's like the Disney news. I don't know how much more to say from that because it's all pictures, but
changes are coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like, I mean, I think Magic Kingdom's busy already as it is with all the stuff, so bringing that there, just expect ticket prices to go up.
Yeah,
they're already very close to $200, and I think once that's up, they will be $200 or more.
I would think so.
I'm not saying that that's like. There's a lot of things that Magic Kingdom offers. So if any park is going to be that much, it would be that one.
Yeah.
But I think we talked about last week, like after hours, things like after hours, especially when like that area is going to come up. If they're still doing after hours, like those are going to be the times that you kind of want to like look at maybe purchasing those tickets.
Yeah.
Just throwing it back.
I would agree. I wonder how many people do regular hours and then purchase after hours for the same day.
For the same day, like doing both.
It'd be an expensive day.
You'd be exhausted.
I bet you there's people who do it though.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, well, if you're only going there for one day, you think like one day and you want to be able to experience the most that you can do, that'd be the way to do it.
For real.
Just be very exhausting.
Right.
Yeah. So today, I think that's all the Disney news that I can think of that I'm going to announce. So
love it.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. Today we're going to talk resorts again.
Yes.
Probably, I would say it's very close. Like our love for resorts are very close to our love for parks. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I enjoy resort hopping almost as much as going to the parks.
Yes. I think you need both.
For sure.
But
it's two very different experiences.
Yeah.
Your days look very different, but they each offer something fun.
They each offer something different because there's different categories. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of compare and contrast the different categories of the Disney resorts today. So, first, I think we're going to answer this question kind of again at the end, but I think we're going to start out here and see if it changes. So, question of the day. What is your favorite category of resort to stay at? So you have value, you have moderate, and then you have deluxe / like deluxe villas. We'll just throw those together. I mean, what's your favorite? So we've stayed in all three of them. We have
stayed at all three, yeah.
And we will be going off of like our experience plus like just things that we know about the other resorts. So what would you say right now would be your favorite to stay at?
Well, so we've stayed at Riviera, which is a deluxe, and the moderate was the one we just stayed at, which is French Quarter. To me, those two, like the moderate and deluxe, will always beat out the other one.
Value.
But Riviera and French Quarter were very close. But I think if I had to like choose, if I were to always stay at one, I mean, I feel like I would always choose deluxe just because.
Yeah,
it's deluxe.
Because it's deluxe,
and they have some other like the deluxe ones have some really good ones.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, and you're gonna pay a premium.
Yep, for sure. I also have to go with deluxe, with moderate being like very close second. But I would say there's probably more of the deluxe resorts that
you would want to stay at.
I like visiting, and I would want to stay at more than like the moderate ones.
Yeah, and I still don't even know really which ones are which. A lot of them, so I'm gonna learn a lot of this today.
Let's maybe like go through them.
Yeah, I know you got your list.
Let's maybe like, yeah, you did hear me on the couch. I was saying them out loud, like to make sure I got all of them.
Uh-huh.
What did you say?
I'm like, why don't you just Google them to make sure you know you're getting them all? But you're like, no, I want to do it from my head.
And I said,
so I hope you got these right.
But my response was, I did. And you were like, you did Google them? And I was like, no, I did get all of them. I don't need to Google them.
So we're assuming Madison has all these right.
I do.
Okay.
I do. So let's go through all of the resorts. So first we're going to start with the value. These are going to be all of the all-star resorts. So you got sports, movies.
Yep.
The other one, music.
Okay.
You thought I forgot. And then Pop Century and Art of Animation. So those are going to be your value categories.
So those are the only value ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, those are the only value ones. So that is 5 resorts.
So
because the all-star resorts are 3 different resorts.
I thought Pop Century was a...
I did say Pop Century.
Oh, you did say Pop. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
All-star, Pop, and Art of Animation.
Okay, yes.
Yep. The moderate are the Port Orleans Resort, so
Yep.
Riverside and French Quarter. Technically 2 different resorts. Coronado Springs and Caribbean Beach.
Okay.
And then deluxe, there's actually deluxe and deluxe villas. So deluxe villas are the DVC version of deluxe resorts. So those ones are going to, the villas have a like washer and dryer and like bigger space and like usually like a larger kitchen and things like that. Whereas deluxe are just the deluxe resorts.
Yep.
So this is going to include Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, Beach and Yacht Club, and Boardwalk. Which I realized
so
when I was
more deluxe than anything.
Yeah, when I was writing those down, I was like, wow, there's a lot more deluxe. No wonder I like the deluxe more because there's more to offer.
Right. I didn't realize that there were more.
Yes. And then there's also Fort Wilderness, like campgrounds, like that have cabins, and cabins would fall into like deluxe villas, but I didn't include those like when we're talking about the differences between them because that's kind of its own little thing.
Yeah.
Like there's people actually camping in campers in your campsite, which is cheaper because you're only paying for a campsite, which is usually like under $100 there a night. But I mean, you're also doing like a camper and it's very spread out. It's completely different from
very different feel.
Yeah, so I didn't even include that in like comparing these because if you're staying at Fort Wilderness, you're camping. You're not like staying at Disney, like you're camping at Disney.
Right.
There's the difference. So those are the 3 different ones. So first, let's talk about similarities between all of them. So these are what all of the resorts are going to have to offer.
Yeah.
A pool.
Of course. You got to.
Because it's Florida.
Yep.
And it's 1,000 degrees.
And kids love pools.
Kids love pools.
Yep. I mean, obviously adults do too, but
like kids love them.
Yeah.
Like kids
always want to go to the pool.
Always. The pool always has kids in it.
Of course.
Unless you're at Riviera and you're at one of the pools and not the other pool, then you might see one kid.
Right.
Which is...
Some resorts have adults only pools.
Yeah, it's considered adults only, but it's just because it doesn't have any... Like, there's another pool that has all of the fun stuff, and then there's just a pool.
Yeah.
That has nothing. They're like, kids, don't come to this pool.
Go to the water slide.
Go to the water slide. Don't come here.
Yeah.
There might be a couple kids in there, but not very many. Usually just adults. Yeah. They all have a quick service food option. So every single one of these resorts, you'll be able to get something quick service.
Okay.
So this could be in the form of a cafeteria, just like a to-go order. Usually there's going to be some place to like kind of sit down.
Yep.
I say usually, yeah.
The boardwalk was very different.
Does not have that.
Yeah. Very different layout. I've been to the boardwalk before. We were there last time.
Yeah.
The time before that, I wasn't really like understanding what was going on at this resort.
Yeah.
But this time I'm like, this is the resort.
Yes.
And your cafeteria thing is like almost like a walk-in.
It's just, and there's nowhere to sit down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of why I put usually.
It almost feels like you're walking into a sandwich shop.
Yes, and it is. It's the Boardwalk Deli. Like that's your quick service there. But there's nowhere to sit down in there. Somewhere. You have to go find a seat.
And there's not a ton of seating.
No.
Yeah.
The Boardwalk is definitely like the unique one in all of these. It still has the quick service option, but
But I love it. I still love that resort though.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I want to stay there so bad. But like when we went there the first time, we were going to a restaurant. So we sat down in the restaurant. So we didn't worry about that. The next time we were going there, we went there to get quick service. And that's when we realized if we stayed here, this is going to look different. You're going to be eating in your room, or you're going to be hanging out at the board, like walking down the boardwalk while you're eating your quick service. Like your experience is looking different.
Yeah. And this is...
Or go to a restaurant.
Is this the only one that's like this?
Yes.
Okay.
From my knowledge, this is the only one.
Okay.
And then they all had the free transportation. We'll kind of get into transportation next when we talk about differences. But they all have some form of free transportation to get around Disney property, to the parks, to Disney Springs. Yeah.
Yep.
And they all have offer like a typical room setup. So they all offer just like your normal 2-bedroom, like 2 queen bed or 2 double bed, whatever, bathroom, typical hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
They better have some kind of a bathroom.
Yeah. I don't know why emphasis on the bathroom. Like, you're going to have to use a public bathroom.
Just so you're aware, they do all have a place that you can go to the bathroom in your room.
So sorry.
And shower.
Yes, and shower. You don't have to go somewhere else. But they all offer that. And then as you go to the different resorts, you're going to get more. So we'll kind of start talking about like the differences between those. So first, talking about value. Mm-hmm. This is going to have all of that and not much more.
So your main draw for value is in its name. It is a value. So you will be definitely saving money.
Yes.
But the main disadvantages are they're usually somewhat crowded.
Yes.
Lots of people.
These are going to be like probably your busiest resorts.
Yep.
Which are understandable. It is the best price. Mm-hmm. And I want to first say this before we go into differences because it's going to, I just have to. We love all of these resorts and would be happy staying at any of these resorts.
Yeah. We're not going to bash any of them.
No. Obviously, when you're staying at a deluxe one, there's going to be more things to offer.
Yep.
Versus a value one. That's just like, that's what you pay for.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I do want to say we love the value resorts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Before we go into it more. But with the value one, it's going to offer all of that, and that's pretty much it. It's not going to offer anything else outside of that. So your quick service is going to be a cafeteria.
Yep.
And it's going to be a large cafeteria. So you're going to have
big.
like lots of places to sit. Like you're not going to run into what you do with the boardwalk. Mm-hmm. I would say that the value resorts are more built for...
Made for a lot of people.
Families, yeah. Not like, I mean, I think they are all made for families in their own way, but made for families as in like if your family all wants to sit down together in a big spot, if you want like different easy options for food, like very simple options for food, the value resorts are going to have that. Like these are going to be your very simple meals. Mm-hmm. Like you'll always be able to get a cheeseburger, nuggets, fries, your
some pasta of some kind.
Yep. Like very simple foods. Yep. This is like, in a lot of the options, like a lot of the simple food options. So you'll have all of that offered at one time.
Yeah.
So like this is... Picky eaters are like, this is like the place to go for sure.
Very
like
simple.
The places to stay.
Nothing flashy about the food.
Yeah.
Even though it's good, it tastes good, but there's nothing flashy.
Usually, like at Pop Century and Art of Animation, I'm not sure about the All Stars because I haven't been there and haven't looked up a ton of those resorts. But like those resorts also have multiple pools.
Yep.
So like there's usually like Pop Century and Art of Animation are set up the exact same, just different rooms. Mm-hmm. In different theming, but there's 3 pools at both of those resorts. So there's one big pool, and then there's 2 side pools too that like you can use that are usually less crowded than the big main pool.
Yeah,
because it has less stuff going on. They don't have like the splashers or
right,
less theming.
Less water toys.
Yeah, less water toys, less of the beach balls, and there's usually like the main pool is where the games will be at with the like cast member.
Yeah.
During the day.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think we're missing anything. This is mainly going to be bus transportation too, besides Pop Century and Art of Animation. I think this is those, if you're going to stay at a value, stay at one of those two. It's going to be a little bit of a higher price, but you do get the Skyliner. It's just nice to have a second form of transportation.
Yes. The Skyliner, fantastic.
Skyliner is a 10 out of 10.
And if you can get a room close to the Skyliner, that's also a big deal.
Yeah. But that one is, those two are the exception for value, as they do have two forms of transportation.
Yeah.
The other ones only have the one, and that's the bus system.
Bus only.
Yeah. And then the next difference going into transportation is that there's more options the higher you go up. So moderate, not all of them. Coronado Springs only has buses.
Okay.
But Port Orleans has boats to get over to Disney Springs and buses.
Yep.
And Caribbean Beach has the Skyliner and buses. So they have more than one. I didn't think about Coronado, though. They only have the bus.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. So like the next level up that you're going to get is usually another form of transportation, and you're going to get more than one place to eat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Very true.
So like you're going to usually get a sit-down restaurant.
Yep.
French Quarter doesn't have a sit-down restaurant, but they're connected to Riverside, which has sit-down restaurant.
So it's like an own little restaurant and with like waiting,
with quick service,
waiting staff.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
Like a sit-down restaurant, sit-down table service restaurant, and all of the moderates too.
Along with your cafeteria style.
Yes.
Yep.
So you'll get both. And the cafeteria style is going to have more of...
French Quarter kind of does with the Scat Cat Lounge.
Yes, they do have the Scat Cat. So they usually offer a separate food option. Mm-hmm. That's right. Good.
Yeah.
Good thought.
I know my stuff. Come on.
Yeah. Because they offer beignets there, so it's fine. They don't need a restaurant because they have beignets.
That's all you need.
Personally.
That's my breakfast.
and your midnight snack.
Yes.
Also, the food options at the cafeterias usually offer something like more adventurous than the like regular like value easy picky food eater things. Like, do you remember we ate at Caribbean Beach and they had like those different sandwiches and things?
Yep.
And then same thing at Port Orleans. Mm-hmm. They had like more of like an Orleans, like Louisiana food for both the French Quarter and for Riverside. And then I know at like Coronado Springs, there's like different like I think Mexican option food and like Mayan food. So
yeah, you'll have food that match the resort's vibe.
Yeah,
you don't really have that with
the value ones as much. Yeah, like you'll definitely get. So like if you like a Louisiana like Southern meal, like you could stay at Port Orleans and have those options very easy and your quick service. So. And they're really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And like the Caribbean Beach, I know like the things that we got there were very good, very like fresh. And like Caribbean Beach has like sit down seafood restaurant. So like if you like more of a seafood, that could be like a moderate price and so far. But when you go up, talking about food still, going to deluxe, you're going to get the cafeteria or like your quick service option. Boardwalk a little different, but
yeah.
But at other ones you're going to get your quick service option. You're also most likely going to get like a table service and an additional table service, like more than one table service, and a lot of those other table services have character dining.
Yeah, the character dinings.
Yeah.
I forget about those.
Oh, and I mean, this is at a lot of resorts. Like there used to be one at Boardwalk, but it hasn't come back. I don't think it's going to come back.
Yep.
But most of these resorts have like a character dining too. You got one at Beach Club, Old Key West, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, Riviera, and Contemporary. Like all of those offer a character dining right there where you're staying. So it's a very unique experience, and that's something that a lot of people love to do and travel to the resorts to do.
Yep.
So we actually did the one in Riviera while we were staying at Riviera. Mm-hmm. Man.
It was great.
That was a game changer.
That was my favorite character dining we've done.
Yeah, it was. That was really good food.
Yeah.
If you haven't done Topolino's Terrace for breakfast character dining, go do it. It's like, that food is incredible. Mm-hmm. The price is a little bit steeper, but not as steep as other character dinings around property. So it's definitely a little on the higher end, but I think you're getting like quality food. I mean,
it's good stuff.
It was good.
Yeah.
Best steak I've ever had.
Best steak you've ever had?
Yeah. I mean, that was...
Yeah, I got some sort of like fancy French toast.
I thought you got a waffle.
It was a waffle, yep. It was a fancy waffle. It was good though. Yeah, and then they bring out like pastries, like...
Yeah, really
as
good
your
pastries.
Appetizer type thing in a way.
Yeah. I think that was it, right? There wasn't anything else.
As far as food goes?
Yeah. Not like a dessert or anything. I don't know why I felt like there was a dessert too, but it was good. I mean,
it was great.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
But to have a character dining at the resort that you're staying at, even if you're staying like on a monorail resort and you're just going to one of the other monorail resorts, like that's really nice, especially if that's something that's a priority to your vacation.
Yeah.
And I mean, another thing, I don't think we talked about it with the pools, but as you go up, they have pools with water slides. Like, they don't have water slides at the value resorts, and they have water slides at
as you go up,
the moderate and the deluxe, which is such a random thing.
Yeah.
But the deluxe ones have bigger water slides than the moderate ones.
It just comes down to you're getting more for your buck.
Yes. You're also paying a big buck.
Yeah, you're getting what you're paying for, I guess.
Yes, and we'll definitely talk about price too. But all of the pools have that as well. And some of the bigger resorts, like we did talk about, they have like usually a quieter pool and a busy pool, which is nice as well.
Yep.
And hot tubs. So they don't have hot tubs at the other, like the value resorts, but they have them both at the moderate and so.
Yeah, you're just getting more options.
A lot more options.
Yep.
Usually, like, you're going to have like an all you care to enjoy or like a buffet style restaurant at a lot of the deluxe resorts too. And usually the deluxe resorts, let's just get into deluxe. You also get to go into the park later.
Yeah. Yep.
So deluxe resorts have extended evening hours on certain days of the week at certain parks.
Yep.
So this is going to probably be, it's Epcot and Magic Kingdom, I think. I don't think they've added any other parks to that.
Okay.
But
we have taken advantage of that before.
Yeah. Yep. You can get in there for like 2 hours later or 2 or 3 hours later, just because you're staying at the deluxe resort. I think that's what it is. I can't remember for sure. I think it's only 2 hours though.
2 hours after close?
Yeah, 2 hours after close, only deluxe resort.
But then the after party is 3 hours after close. So it's almost like you're getting an after hour ticket in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, except not the snacks.
Right.
It's just like rides are open later.
Yeah.
And if you take advantage of it, you can ride these bigger rides.
Yep.
Like later.
They were offering queue times for those times too.
Yeah, back when they had virtual queues for like the Tron and Guardians. You could get in like a third time. Yeah. Well, it would be a second time, but if you paid for it a third time, like it was kind of like worth your money, especially when you couldn't ride those rides more than once. Like now you could ride them all day. Now you can just, like if you're using the deluxe hours, less of a line. Yep. But that's nice, especially if you want to take a midday break. It's like 2 free hours that you could take a like midday break at your resort. That's going to be closer because all of these resorts are closer to the parks, depending on which one you stay at. Animal Kingdom Lodge is going to be closer to Animal Kingdom. All of those resorts are closer.
Yeah.
To what you're going to want to do if you're a parks person.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So also the difference, and I don't know if this is like a good or like for me, this isn't a good or bad difference. It's just a difference. The value resorts versus the moderate and deluxe resorts, they're going to have different Disney touches. So at like the value resorts, it's going to be big in your face.
True.
Disney.
Yep.
Like big, huge figurines of Disney characters.
More colorful.
Very colorful. Very like a lot going on. And at the other resorts, it's going to be very subtle Disney touches.
Still heavily themed.
Yes.
But not in your face Disney themed.
It's more like heavily themed, less IP in your face. And then the other ones are like more IP driven, like big IP driven in your face. Cuz like at Pop Century they have a ginormous Baloo like in the middle of the pool area.
Yeah. It's massive statue.
Huge. It's giant. It's fun. That Art of Animation, they have a giant Ursula, and Ursula is my favorite. So I absolutely love that area of that resort because I love Ursula, and it's the only place that you can see her. Mm-hmm. And then you go to Riviera, and it's like you go down a certain hallway, and you will see
some paintings.
The
carpet will have some Mickey Mouse and some hidden Mickey Mouses.
Yeah, and they have like those. What are those like movie posters? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. That like it was Ratatouille. They were all in French.
Yeah.
Incredibles had one, and it was like going down the hall to get your food. Yep. I really like those, but it's definitely just different. Like that's going to be more themed to the French Riviera than it is to Disney IP. Right. So yeah, take that with
which
you like.
I like. Yes. I like that. I prefer to stay somewhere like that. Mm-hmm. But I would stay anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just, I like having a themed place to stay. Yeah. But not necessarily, it's only Disney. Like you have the French, the French Quarter is all New Orleans type stuff.
Yeah. And these are like beautifully themed where like where you're walking is, you feel like you're there. Yep. It's not like a little bit of theming. Like you are fully immersed in that area. And specifically, like, if we're just talking about French Quarter, you walk down the path that's along the river over to Riverside, and you're fully immersed in Louisiana. So it's like you just went from the city of New Orleans to backcountry Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Like, and those are two different vibes, but it's beautifully executed to walk there.
It is.
Yeah. It's like, it's really cool. And then when you step off the bus into any of these deluxe resorts, like you step off the bus to Polynesian or the monorail, like you're
there.
You're there. Yep. You're Hawaii.
It's amazing.
It's cool.
Yeah, they pull everything off perfectly.
Yeah, you step out the monorail into Grand Floridian, you're like, I don't belong here.
Yeah. Yep.
I shouldn't be here.
I should own a ranch and horses, and
it's just it's beautiful. Yeah, that resort is breathtaking. It's like, but I feel like I can't wear flip flops in here. I don't know what to do. But yeah, these resorts are incredibly themed. But those are all the differences. Mainly, the biggest difference is going to be price. Mm-hmm. So let's just
hop into that one.
Let's just hop into it because it's definitely a conversation. Deluxe resorts, you're not getting a room for under $500 a night.
Yeah.
You're just not. So think about that.
Yeah, your 500 would be bare minimum. Maybe
that's on a good that's on a sale.
Maybe you're striking a deal somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's like on a good sale through Disney. But that's how much you're paying a night for a deluxe resort, and that's like a deluxe resort at Animal Kingdom, not Grand Floridian
or Polynesian.
Those are running like $800 to $900 a night. Obviously, this is all round up. Just like looking at prices, they all fluctuate. Yeah, they all change. Like this changes often.
Yeah,
it changes based on season, based on the day of the week. So it's not based on just like that place. And then you can go to the value resorts and you're looking at like $150 to $300 a night. So
significant difference.
Those are two different things.
You could get like 3 nights for the price that you would pay for one night at a deluxe. So
in the values though, I do see those kind of going up, like especially like Pop Century and Art of Animation. Art of Animation is a little different because they offer family suites.
Okay.
So that's kind of why that one ranges a little bit higher. If you're not looking at the Little Mermaid rooms, which are the farthest thing away from the cafeteria you can get.
Yeah.
If you're thinking the central part of the resort, that's not there. But I mean, the family suites you can hold 6 adults in there, is what they say. It's a tight 6 adults.
Yeah.
But
you could squeeze them in there though.
Yeah. There's 2 bathrooms.
They've got beds for you. You just got to pull them out of the wall.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But those are 2 different options. And then moderate, you're going to fall in between that. Obviously, Disney always runs deals. And there are different ways that you could stay at a deluxe resort, which I'm sure we'll get into in a different episode. Things like renting DVC points if you know somebody that has them. If you are a DVC member, like being a DVC member, you have already paid for staying at those resorts.
Yeah, we'll probably do a whole episode on
Disney Vacation Club.
Yeah, because we have rented points before and that made a big difference.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that go into staying at these places, but just comparing the prices.
But moderate resorts, what's the price for those?
Well, you're going to be looking at
probably like 3 to 4.
3 to 4, yeah.
100.
Sometimes it's a little under. Sometimes it's under 3. Like, just kind of depends. But relatively 300 to 400.
And they do come out with deals for those every now and then.
Yeah. They come out with deals for all of the resorts. So you're looking at like anywhere from like 15 to 35% off of your room. Like that. I mean, and that's a significant price when you're staying for a long period of time too. So, yeah, we've stayed at all of them.
We have.
We've just talked about all of them.
Yeah.
Does your answer change at all?
As far as where I would stay?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if money was not an option, I would still stay at a deluxe.
Yes.
Always. But I think moderates are great.
Yeah.
We got the chance to see quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And I think
they
do have a couple that are pretty like spread out.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference. There's a lot of walking if you don't mind that.
Yeah.
The one thing I liked about French Quarter is it's one of the smallest resorts they have, period.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah.
It didn't take long to walk anywhere on that resort.
Yeah.
So depends on where you'd stay. I would gladly stay anywhere. I know we've talked about that.
Yeah.
I think my preference does go up with each category. So I would prefer to stay at a moderate over a budget.
Yeah.
But I'd prefer to stay at a deluxe over a moderate. You know what I mean?
And then there's also definitely like the factor of that some of the deluxes have full kitchens. And I think that's something that me and you particularly really like on a vacation because
sometimes you need a night in cooking.
Yeah. We're not fun. Like huge. And if you have like leftovers and things, you have a fridge. Like that's an actual fridge, not a beverage cooler.
Yeah. That has room for nothing.
And actually keeps things cold.
Yeah.
And you can also get more groceries. So like if you're staying for a longer amount of time, and having that bigger fridge is really great. We've talked about it. I love character dinings, and being on the resort that has your character dining or being close to it is definitely a lot easier and a lot less stressful to get to.
Yeah.
Over staying somewhere like French Quarter where it takes longer to get there.
Yep.
But if you stay at somewhere like a Value, those buses are running way faster than anywhere else. Like, you are getting to where you're not waiting very long at all.
That is one thing we've noticed.
Yeah. Like, the bus at Pop Century versus the bus at French Quarter, I would not be worried about getting to like the Polynesian or like Animal Kingdom Lodge or any of those places that we have dining reservations. I'm not worried about getting there because those buses are running a lot.
Yeah.
Versus French Quarter, they're not running a lot.
There's quite a bit of time between those.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's
even resulted in us using Lyft.
There's even more time in between the ones at like the Polynesian. Those buses do not run very much at the Polynesian at all. Just looking at the Polynesian. I know that's very unique to that one. I also thought we waited kind of a little longer at Animal Kingdom.
Bus stops are smaller at the deluxe and moderates. They're just smaller bus stops.
Yeah. Like there's not very many places to sit. Like they don't have like the lines. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to look to where the bus goes so that you can get in front of people if you've been waiting longer.
Yeah.
Like people will get in front of you because there's not a line.
Right.
Which has happened. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for 30 minutes.
Get behind me.
I don't want to stand. But yeah, like we said, we love all of them. But this is just kind of the comparison between them. You have to make your own choice in your own journey. And I don't think we're not people that are like, we're always staying at deluxe, because that's just
not going to happen.
No, that's unrealistic.
And the only way we really will is if we do rent points, which again, we'll get into another episode.
Yeah.
But I doubt we will ever go through Disney.
I can see us though possibly doing there's ones that you can do through Disney for sure, like that are on the cheaper side, and if you get them at a good time of the year and you get a discount.
Oh, okay.
For sure. But who knows? Maybe DVC members.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That is a dream that who knows will ever happen.
But we love the resorts, and I definitely think it's worth visiting all of them. Not just, I think you can definitely, if you want a picky eater, you're staying at a moderate, can hop on the Skyliner right over to one of the Value resorts and eat there. And it's very simple, very easy. And if you don't have a picky eater and you are staying at a Value, hop on the Skyliner, go to Riviera, because they have great food.
They do.
We actually didn't eat there, so I don't know that from personal experience, but I've heard they have
we never actually ate at the cafeteria.
No, but you could go to Topolino's Terrace and have a great breakfast.
We actually made breakfast quite a bit when we were there.
Yeah.
Because it had a kitchen and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was actually nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's basically it.
Yeah. They have so many options, lots to choose from. Do your research. I think if you have a big family staying at a budget, what do you call the first one?
A Value.
Value budget, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, Value is going to get you cheaper, but you might have to stay you'll probably have to stay in different rooms. You can also get connecting rooms or like family suites. Yeah. But also take a look at those family suite prices, because they might not be worth it. Kind of depends on the year still.
Yeah.
So,
but there are lots of options. So
yeah, that's it.
Hopefully this helped a little bit with that.
Yeah, that's it for Disney resorts comparisons.
That's all.
Yeah.
Again, be on the lookout for the vlog coming out very soon.
Yeah.
And keep listening to us anywhere you find podcasts.
Yep.
Again, check out YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yep. We'll be back on Friday for a coffee talk and back next week for another episode.
Sure will.
Bye.
Bye.